You guys ready?
I am, sir.
We'll have a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call this meeting of the Monongalia County Commission to order. It's Wednesday, March 13th, and let the record reflect that all three commissioners are present. First item on the agenda is consent and approval with County Administrator Renetta McClure. Good morning, Renetta.
Good morning, Renetta.
Good morning. We have 11 exonerations for you to approve this morning, $2,100.55. Minutes for March 6, 2024. Vouchers, General County, $226,381.14. 911, $3,884.91. Chestnut Ridge Park, $1,159.83. Camp Muffley, $762.62. Mason-Dixon Park, $2,231.66. Mon County Center, $7,493.46. Recreation levy, $7,584.86. Assessor's valuation, $2,051. Payroll, $1,728,776.01. ARPA, $37,054.63. Parks and Recreation, $21,804.82. Purchasing card vouchers, General County, $20,148.92. Camp Muffley, $89.85. Mason-Dixon Park, $180.80. Mon County Center, $823.07. For a voucher total of $2,060,427.58. Budget revisions, there are none to approve. Position vacancies for boards and authorities are listed on the county website and fiduciary orders for today, March 13th, 2024.
I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay.
Regarding the Marjorie Langdon estate,
Yeah.
you all had dealt with an item about 30 days ago, and you had gave a 30-day deadline. The attorney representing the executor has written a letter to you asking for an additional 30 days. She had to be at a funeral, or she would have been here this morning.
Yeah, based on the letter, she's had some initial conversations with the objecting party and feels that they've been fruitful and thinks they can come to a resolution. So
Yeah.
I'd move we give the estate another 30 days to take the action.
I second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That's it.
All right. Next item on the agenda is introduction of new employee personnel changes.
Come on
Got,
down.
Patrick here from the assessor's office.
Good morning.
Morning, Bill.
Morning.
All right, I have two for you all today, actually.
Great.
So both of them are going to be real estate deputies. The first one is Mr. Jason Reed. His start date will be tomorrow. He'll be replacing Jim DeVincent, who will be retiring from full-time at the end of the month. Hate to see that happen, but happy for Jim is able to do that. Mr. Reed will be a full-time employee, benefits eligible, and we'll have a 90-day introductory period. Do you want me to do the other one at the same time, or do you want to do them one at a time?
Sure, you can
Yeah,
do
we'll
it.
do it.
Okay, all right. The second would be Mr. Mark Bowders. He'll also be a real estate deputy. Mr. Bowders will be replacing Perry Harmon. Perry took a position in our appraisal department about a year ago now. So Mr. Bowders' start date would also be tomorrow, March 14th, be a full-time employee with benefits eligibility, would have a 90-day introductory period as well.
Move to approve the two employees as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
All right, thank you.
Great. Thanks, Patrick.
Please, and I think I speak for all three of us since I've been here the longest. Jim DeVincent has been instrumental in working with us. When we had a question, that's who we went to. And it's a great loss for our community and county, and I understand why he wants to retire.
Yeah, Jim has been fantastic, but I also will say that he does have a willingness to stay around in a kind of a part-time capacity
And I
in order
hope
to
good.
help us out through a transition through the next year, because Jim does do a lot of stuff for us when it comes to our minerals especially. So, thank you.
And please say hello to Mark Bowders for me.
I will. All right.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
Any other personnel? Okay. Next item on the agenda is comments from the public. We will now open the comments from the public session of our meeting. Anybody wishing to address the commission, raise their hand and come forward and provide their name.
Come on.
Come
Welcome
on home.
Welcome home.
Last couple weeks, I
And
feel
come
like
forward
this is-
and be heard. Seeing none, I will close the public comment section of the meeting. Next item on the agenda is Colleen Kuhn, our office manager, with the grants.
Good morning.
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 Okay, so the first thing I have is request for reimbursement for the Community Development Block Grant in the amount of $1,774.08. And then the next thing I have is the Community Corrections Grant application. We are requesting $223,675. And along with that application, there's also a memorandum of understanding that needs to be signed between the commission and the local community criminal justice board.
Move
That's
to
all I
approve
have.
the president signing the grant documents as presented.
Give us a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, correspondence.
Well, again, I have a repeat from last week. This is congressionally directed spending time, and we've got some letters of support that have already been signed for the town of Star City, Milan Park Foundation, Monongalia River Trails Conservancy, Morgantown Municipal Airport, and then there's a couple that came in after the agenda was done. Let me get to that.
Main Street.
Let's see here. This is two marked downs for the Warner Theater renovations. Then we have historic post office 3. We have Joe Manchin, Senator Capito, and Senator Mooney for the historic post office. I think that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Hopefully that's the rest of it.
Congressman Mooney.
Congressman Mooney.
He'd like to be senator.
No. Stand corrected.
Yes.
Any other regular correspondence?
No.
All right.
We'll be glad when all these letters are done.
Commissioner, did you have any other correspondence?
No.
Okay, Tom, okay. And all those, all these items, again, in accordance with our policy, when a letter of support is presented to us off-cycle, we poll between the commissioners, and as long as we're unanimous, we go ahead and we reproduce the letter, and then we put it on correspondence, which we have done in this case, so. Move on to the next item on the agenda is unfinished business.
Do we have to make a motion to, oh, okay, never mind. Sorry.
That's our policy.
That's right.
Unfinished business, we have none. New business. Requisition, consideration of requisition number 88 for the University Town Center Economic Opportunity Development District sub-account.
Throw me off today. All right, $748,497.32. And these are collections for the month of February 2024.
Move to approve the requisition as presented.
Second.
Okay, I will note that these are the 855-706-84 is the total collections, less the 100, then they take away the $100,000 statutory lien, and then the tax admin fee of 1%, which so available for debt service is $748,497.32. So we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is consider for approval of a user agreement with Limbo Solutions for the implementation of a new work order system to be used by the facilities and IT departments. Thought somebody stepped on a dog.
I'm sorry.
So Scott Finch, the Director of Facilities, was researching a new work order system in place of the maintenance connection that we're currently using. And he said this is the proposal for that. It's $9,768 for 1 year, and that includes some training costs up front, and so.
Move to approve the new user agreement as presented.
So, second.
Okay. And yeah, as our administrator mentioned, that does include unlimited remote implementation, training, and support. So the cost is comparable to where we were with maintenance connection, but we've chosen to move because this system seems to be a lot more user-friendly and have a lot more features. So we're getting a better value for what we're paying. So we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes unanimously. Consider for approval of funding up to $4,200 for support of the West Virginia Black Bears annual Easter egg hunt at the Monongalia County Ballpark.
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, it's an annual request, and we're happy to participate.
And
We
this-
have the funds.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
funding comes from the Community Events Fund that we accumulate as a result of our ground lease agreement on the ballpark. And this is an annual event. I'm sure the mayor is happy that we're supporting this event. I think she's personally supporting the rest of it. I think she's dressed us up as the Easter Bunny. Anyhow, we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Consideration to approve the opening of cost offers received in response to RFP 2024 MCC 002 Janitorial Support Services. If we have a motion and a second, I'll go ahead and we'll do a description.
Move to approve the opening.
Second.
Okay. What this is we've received responses on the 28th of February. The responses were received from Bucket Ladies LLC and Patent Building Services. Technical evaluations of both offers were conducted, and both offers were deemed to achieve the minimum acceptable score threshold of 70%. Both respondents achieved that threshold, so the next step is to open the cost offers and have them evaluated for responsiveness. Once that is done, the cost and technical scores will be weighted accordingly, and we should have an apparent successful offer. So I do have, as you can see, the previous offers that we received. The cost offer is still in a sealed envelope, and I'll give them alphabetical order. I'll go ahead and give you Bucket Ladies. Same thing with you, Commissioner Boone.
Okay.
If you guys would just go ahead and open up the cost proposal and just note that there is a cost consideration. There's a form that they should have filled out. Then the weekly and monthly service, and then there's the quarterly, semi-annual, and annual.
Cost estimate on the janitorial support services seems to be in order.
And that's Bucket Ladies,
Okay.
correct? It should be.
Yeah, it says Bucket Ladies LLC, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, firm fixed price monthly and firm fixed price cost offer, yes.
Okay, all right.
Both have the amount.
So with, you guys have, the motion was to open the bids, and we have done that. So I would ask, the next step, as I had indicated, is for us to take and analyze
Right.
the cost offers and make sure that they're both responsive. And what we do is we take a look at them and make sure that they're within a certain bounds, and if one is way over here and one's way over here, we have to figure out what they were bidding.
Right.
So we'll do that analysis, and then we'll combine that with the technical analysis and come back with a formal recommendation to the commission.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, so we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have opened them. All right, so on to the next step, and hopefully we'll do the same thing next week with the cost offers or with the offers that we received. in regards to the lobby RFP, the lobby improvements RFP. So we'll do the technical evaluation. We'll deem if both offers meet the minimally acceptable score, and then we'll do the same process. We'll open up the cost offers and we'll go forward. So,
Great.
all right, and that is all we have for new business. Okay, reports from elected officials and/or department supervisors.
Ooh. I will be the Easter Bunny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor.
I'm glad you guys are sitting down.
Oh, no.
So we had our bid opening last evening at council meeting for the traffic signals at Town Center. And I will say I did expect the cost to inflate some post-COVID because of materials and, labor costs, whatever. We only had one bid. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're ready. $1,590,900.
For a light,
2 traffic
Two
lights.
signals.
2 signals.
Two signals. A
1,590,000.
little higher than we expected.
190.
$1,590,900.
Okay.
Did they
And-
break the 2 down by chance? Well, I mean,
I don't believe.
Okay, okay, I was just wondering,
It
'cause we
was,
didn't
it
ask.
was bid as one project.
Okay.
So, of course, it was a little disappointing. We had 7 contractors who came to a mandatory pre-bid meeting, and so we were, of course, hoping to have more than one bid. But actually, this contractor was the only one that even followed up and showed any interest during the period that he could ask questions. So I guess our next step would be to set up a work session. You suggested we set up a work session. We can do that. I'm just not available the first week of April. Whatever that Wednesday is, I think it's the 2nd.
Well, that's-
So our engineer did, as you would expect, took the bid to look it over, each line item to see if there were any areas that we could cut the costs. But on top of that, I mean, the town has already spent probably close to $50,000 between the traffic engineer and our engineer to get to this point. So
Okay.
it's quite an expensive project, but
And for reference, when we first started talking about this project, we were thinking in the neighborhood of about
700.
600. I had the number of 600,000 stuck in my head because I had 2, 2, and 2, but 7 regardless, we had
I
decided to
agree.
Yeah,
split
we thought
those
it would go
costs
up just
between
a
the 3 of
little.
us.
2.5 times.
Yeah, so,
But we're having our engineer, like I said,
If-
review it. He stayed after the meeting and said that he would look to see if there was some area we could try to cut some cost and,
yeah, if he would look through that, maybe there were some assumptions they were taking, and,
could be. But I don't look for it to go much lower.
No, I don't expect it to go down to the 700, but there might be some areas in there where they made some, just like I said, what we do with any cost offers, we look at it to make sure if it's responsive. So you have to take the cost and then look at what you want it, and did they miss the boat on something? So
We're doing that.
usually
We'll
with
do that
multiple
process.
bidders, it's easier to do, but with one, then you just have to really kind of go and do an independent cost analysis to really figure that out.
So would you want to wait until we get our report from
Yeah.
Joe Dinkel before we set up a work session? I don't want to delay this any longer.
I don't want to either. We're in budget season right now, so we're kind of, I don't know if we have any, how long will it take to get the report? So then, once we get the report, we like to schedule a work
Yeah.
session as soon as possible, if it fits with our schedule.
He thought he would have it within a week, right? Within a couple days. He said that he was going to make that a priority.
Okay.
But Renetta, you can let me know
You
what's
can
available.
just work with Renetta, and she'll get you on a calendar. If you can't do that first week of April, I'm out the second week of April, so I'd like to participate in that meeting. So if we can get it in before April, fine. If not, but I'm like you, I don't want to delay. I was coming out of UTC yesterday, and you have to turn right out of the UTC POC, and you have to turn right, go down the hill, turn around, and come back
Yeah.
up, and it's frustrating. And And same thing with Sesame Street or wherever where Chick-fil-A is. It's
I'd like to throw one thing
Sesame Drive.
out there, but I downloaded a document from the West Virginia tax revenue site. And one thing I know this is a sore subject, but one thing TIF money can be used for is to eliminate traffic hazards and traffic congestion or safety hazard. So I'd like for you to look at that again to see if any of this could be paid for out of some of our TIF money. And what would we need to do to make that happen?
Certainly, Mayor. As you noted, the costs have come in almost more than twice of what we expected. So we're going to have to look at any of all options to make sure, because the most important thing is we need to proceed with this. So
Right.
we have to
Okay.
figure that out. So nothing's off the table.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And some of the components at time of order are at least 22 weeks out.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I wanted to.
After
mention
we,
that.
yeah,
And
22.
that's after commitment,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's after the commitment.
after
Yeah.
commitment.
Okay.
The 22 weeks is before Black Friday. So, any other questions?
No, thank you,
appreciate
Mayor.
the
I appreciate the update.
Yeah, thank you for keeping on it.
Any other elected officials and/or department supervisors? Okay. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and reports from county commissioners. Tom?
Yeah, number of them. Well, let's talk about one positive over in that area. Between last week and our meeting, the WVU Department of Intercollegiate Athletics with WVU Foundation and the county commissioners became aware of a generous gift from Ken Kendrick, Arizona Diamond owner and WVU alumnus, to support the WVU baseball program. And the gift includes the renaming of the Monongalia County Ballpark at the facility will be known as the Kendrick Family Ballpark at the Monongalia County Baseball Complex. And the reason why this is so great is because there are some major improvements that we could not afford. And this will benefit the community, Black Bears, other community organization baseball that we will work with them. So we're excited. We want to thank Mr. Kendricks, and this is what we were hoping for. So we're real pleased with that. The second, I met with Jennifer Lenhart to discuss, here it is, the Mon County Mini Swimmers program. What we're looking to do is she has made a suggestion. She will be sending us a request. And the one thing I am excited about is they are wanting, because after learning of running the programs, for just second graders, they want to do it K through 2. Because what happened was everyone would bring their kids, kindergarten, first graders. So we just thought it made more sense to have, a K through 2 learning how to swim program. So I'm very excited about that. We had a meeting with Hope Hill Sobering Center, and yesterday we agreed to pay MCR to close out our rental, and next month we will dissolve. So I wanted you aware of that. I received a phone call from Senator Manchin's office, and he was thrilled to say that the president signed earmarking, of which one of the earmarks is now $1.5 million to go to Harmony Grove, which is just another positive step in showing that the federal government is moving forward on this project. And finally, I just want to say I did have a 24-hour trip to Philadelphia to be with my daughter for the first time in 10 years on her birthday. And I will say this, on the way back, the winds were 45 miles an hour, and we were okay. I have so much respect for those truck drivers. I don't know how they did it in the wind, because we were all over the place, and I'm just really glad I'm home. So all positive news.
Yeah.
I was going to touch on the one thing that Tom did regarding the ballpark. That was, we had many conversations with the university
Yes.
on that, and it was important to the three commissioners that Mon County, the taxpayers still be recognized for their contributions to that ballpark, which is why we insisted on including Monongalia County Baseball Complex as still being in the name of it, and will still be represented on the stadium very prominently in that regard. It's the improvements that are going to be made are really going to take that field to another level, as far as the new turf that's already down, and probably new pads in the outfield, and then a potential for practice facilities for the team that plays out there. So it's a great improvement, and it's something that we will still be participating in the manner of collecting the like we granted the funding for the egg hunt today from our ballpark fund, and that will still continue going on. So we'll still be able to help with events out there, community actions, and we've asked that they increase the availability for local, not that they haven't before, but for local teams, high school teams, at various levels, to utilize the field at times when it comes up. And we've gotten assurances that will continue as it was. Moving on, we are also, as everyone has probably read in the papers, the issues going on at the Bartlett House. We are monitoring that. We don't have much comment on it, as it's not a county organization, but we have provided funding in the past and assistance to the facility, so we're going to continue to monitor that to make sure that there's available services in the county. And then finally, I've been getting, and I'm sure the other commissioners have, many calls about the upcoming levies. I would just comment that we don't really comment on the levies themselves, as far as we approve the levies to go on the ballot. We are happy to answer questions as we can. I would recommend, as far as straight monetary questions as to the cost of the levies, that you consult with the assessor's office. They're the calculating entity that will do that based upon the bond rates and the other things that go in after the levy's gone through. So there's a lot of misinformation, I believe, on one in particular, that I think it'd be best to do the research and contact the assessor on that. So sorry, Mark. But but they've been very helpful with my questions, and I do appreciate Patrick and Mark both sitting down with me and explaining how it works, and I'm sure they're happy to do that with any concerned taxpayer. That's all I've got.
Thank you, Jeff. Since our last meeting, as I indicated last week, it is a busy couple of weeks. On Friday, we had staff reports, and then we spent the whole day going through 69 grant applications and evaluating them and making tentative decisions regarding those grants, which will be included in our budget. I had to take a break from that to do a broadband call, and then at the end of the day, I did go, speaking to what Commissioner Arnett was talking about, I met with a group over at the Board of Education building to do the exact same thing, to clarify myths about how how those taxes will be calculated. And there is just so much information out there that it's causing a lot of misinformation. So I do ask people to be informed citizens, to listen to the Board of Education. If you have questions regarding the how things are calculated in their own personal circumstances, the best source is our assessor. But there's times that even Mark Patrick and I had a conversation last week, and we talked about all the different variables that are still out there. So there's again, people seize on information that meets their objective. And unfortunately, I've said this from the beginning, people ought to look at the proposals, any of these levies or this bond issue by the BOE. Look at the proposal, look what they're intending to do, look at it from both a technical standpoint as far as the benefit to our community, and look at it from a cost standpoint. And then each individual citizen should make their decision. But please have the information and make sure that you're using the correct information. And if you're not sure, ask. And I'm certainly open to answer any questions. That's what I've been trying to help with the process, to make sure that there isn't bad information out there that's being shared purposely. On Saturday, it is now the beginning of lacrosse season. On Saturday, there's the meltdown, the annual meltdown for girls lacrosse, and and it was down at the Bridge Center. So now we start into lacrosse season. So, and it's Quinny's last year, so I'm looking forward to it. Yesterday, we did the janitorial technical evaluations discussion after our staff had conducted an evaluation. We got together and compared results, and so that we can prepare for opening up the cost offers on the janitorial support services RFP and then move forward. And then the administrator and I had our regular HR call. Today's a long day. There was a public meeting, and then we have budget hearings all afternoon. Tomorrow is the second Thursday of the month, which is a busy day for me. I have MAP Executive Committee meeting with Red Team, Development Authority, and then the first lacrosse game of the year, which is actually in Buchanan. So I'll be going to Buchanan for Gwynny's first game. Friday, we have staff reports. I have budget meetings with the administrator scheduled after that, and broadband discussion moving forward on. Hopefully we'll have some good announcements on the broadband front in the next couple weeks. I know I've been getting a lot of calls, and again, there's a lot of things I can't say until we finally know where we're going, but hopefully it's going to be weeks, not months, that we'll be making some decisions. Saturday, girls lacrosse in Charleston. And then Sunday, we have the Mountaineer Country Convention and Visitor Bureau reception. And Tom, if you'll explain a little bit more about that once I'm done. But
Sure.
That's down at the waterfront, and Commissioner Bloom will fill us in because he's been shepherding that event. I do want to wish a happy semi-retirement to Jim DeVincent. I know Jim's been. There's been a lot of things we've worked on over the years where we needed, information from the assessor's office, and I know that Patrick, Mark, you guys rely on Jim for a lot of information, and he's helped answer a lot of questions for me. So I wish him a happy retirement. I'm glad we'll still see him around on a part-time basis, and it's not cold turkey he'll be leaving us, but I'm happy for him. And the last thing in regards to the Kendricks family gift, that is something the commission has been talking with the new AD and his staff over the past year. I really applaud the Ren Baker coming. When he got here, one of the first things he did was reached out and scheduled a meeting with us. Just to really just get acquainted. At that first meeting, there wasn't even a purpose. It was just to, put a face with a name and introduce himself to us. And then we've had multiple meetings as they've had updates on this project. So really, there is no legal basis for them to do that. But they wanted it to be a community effort, and they wanted commission buy-in, and we've had input in the whole process. So I commend the AD for his efforts and including the commission, and therefore the community in some of these decisions. So that's all I have. Tom, you want to explain what the CVB
Yes.
event is?
We are meeting with Greene County and to introduce ourselves to, it's called the MotoGP Site Visit Presentation. This is an international event that will be the first time held in America, and it is between us and an Indiana site. And this is also will be held at High Point, even though it's in Greene County. The working relationship we've been doing with Greene County, we believe that we both could benefit from it. We're talking 35 to 50,000 people for a 5-day event. And the majority of them come from all over the world. They're in Qatar this year. So that's we're just really excited. We are making a presentation. The Greater Pittsburgh CVB is also making a presentation. We are looking forward to hosting this event, and we're very, very excited. Racer X, which is home here, helps us in the sense that it'd be a lot easier for them if we have it here than taking everything out to Indiana. We will know in the next couple months. It's not till 2025, but we are already working with the DOH, and they are working with the Pennsylvania DOH because the majority of it will be in Pennsylvania, but we are going to definitely get the food, the housing, a lot of benefits from it, and also the PR for our community. So it's just something that the 3 county commissioners, I'm really proud of. It's something we've been doing. Now we can say why we're working with Greene County, and what we're trying to say is just because it's across state lines does not mean we shouldn't be working with them. And our relationship is excellent. I don't know if anyone wants to add.
Just to clarify,
Yes.
there's an event that we're pushing to be a location, the location for, and it's down between High Point here.
Yes.
In our region and Indiana. And the event on Sunday is basically the site selection committee coming, and we're putting on a presentation for them.
And Greene County's putting on a presentation
Okay.
through the Pittsburgh CVB, and Tim Cotter with Racer X had requested, and I want to say he wanted it down at the waterfront, and we've done several things with them before, so we're very excited about it. This is a big program for especially Greene County, but also for us too, and hopefully it'll bring 50,000 people here from all over the world.
Yeah, and Racer X is a Morgantown.
Yes, Racer X is a
Entity.
Morgantown entity.
Yeah, that is Davy Combs and his family, so, no, that's great.
Yeah.
Anything? Okay, so
Yeah.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Moving on.